Your reality just shifted as soon as this video popped up and you clicked on it. But how much have you shifted? That will determine on how long you stay on this video with me. And I'm going to give you all the signs. I'm going to give you everything you need to know whether you have impressed the subconscious mind and you have changed your state of consciousness. So this is a big one. This one is absolutely going to blow your mind. And it blew my mind when I first discovered this. Once I started making big changes with my identity and shifting my concept of myself, the first thing that I would notice is I would look back on myself prior to my visualization, and I wouldn't even recognize the person that I was. I had made so many changes within my inner world that my outer world was now reflecting that. Everything started to shift in my reality, but the sign that it was given to me is me looking back and noticing that the old version of me, the person that I was before I started the visualization, whether that was just a few days or not, whether that was a few weeks or a few days or even a few hours, I would make a big shift in my state of being, and I would be a different person doing different things, and my assumptions were changing and my inner dialogue had changed. And I would notice this, like through meditation or just observing the person that I was before I began the process. And another really important sign that you have shifted your state of consciousness is your dreams at night will start to change. And this is one thing that I noticed too. If I'm making a big change or I'm working on something really big, I'll be dreaming. I'll catch myself and I'll wake up inside of a dream and I will be doing the things that I'm falling asleep doing. Like, because the person that you are when you fall asleep and you go into the drift or you go into SATS, the state akin to sleep, whatever's dominating, whatever you consent to being true of yourself and your world, like who are you as you're going into that drift, is going to be dominated within the subconscious. The domination of your sleep state is going to be based on that last feeling, the very last feeling that you had of truth and faith of your world and who you are going into this drift. So that's another big sign that I've found, and I've also coached other people that have had the same sign, is their dreams. They're doing the same things in their dream that they were picturing themselves doing or feeling themselves doing as they're going to sleep. And this is a huge sign that you have impressed the subconscious mind, because that feeling state has gone into the sleep state. The subconscious mind has now felt that, and now you're dreaming about doing those things. And you'll also wake up, like, because as you're doing those things within your dream, you're becoming more experienced. The subconscious mind is preparing yourself, your unconscious self, to wake up into a new version of yourself that has already done that. And this is because time and space are just conditions of thought. All right. So whatever you go to sleep doing and being, and like when you're unconscious, like when you're going into the drift and you fall asleep into that and the subconscious mind feels that, it's going to start preparing you for that, okay, for the next day. It's going to start transforming the version of yourself, because there may not be an automatic concept of self that's holding on to that throughout the day. So it's preparing you to wake up into that version, where you are that person now. And it starts preparing you and running you through different scenarios within your dreams that are actually, solidifying that fact for your new reality to come. And another big sign that you have impressed the subconscious mind, this doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen to you. And I've experienced this happening to myself, is if I'm visualizing something before I go to sleep at night and I'm really into it, like I have an intention to succeed and I have visualized this thing, I put everything into it, my short clip, and I'm looping this thing over and over. I'm staying up for an extra hour at night, laying in an odd position, just replaying and rehearsing this over and over and over and over and over every single night. And I've downloaded all the information and I've made it so vividly clear in my imagination. A lot of times I'll find throughout the day that more difficult things will start coming into my life. Like, it's kind of like the Bible when it says, if you pray for patience, God will put you in situations, God will put you in situations where you will develop patience. Or if you pray for strength, God will bring things into your life that are difficult to make you strong. Because if you think about it, if everything was easy in your world, like to accomplish and make millions and millions of dollars and be a successful person and do all these different things, if it was super easy, You could have those things, but you would be weak at the end of it. You wouldn't be strong. You wouldn't be resilient. You wouldn't know how to overcome things. And if it were super easy, everyone could do it. Everyone would be doing it. Everyone would be rich. And what would happen if everybody was rich? There would be more competition, and then being rich would then be being poor. Because if everyone was rich, everyone would be poor. It's only what separates the two, the balance of everything, that creates the separation between poor and rich, wealthy and not wealthy, strong and weak, hot and cold, male and female. There's the separation of the balance here. So that's why when I visualize things like something big, and it does require, a lot of work from me, maybe a big change of my state of consciousness, I'll be put in situations to develop, my weak points in order for me to sustain that kind of wealth or sustain the thing that I'm visualizing myself to be. And also, if everything was easy, everyone would be rich. And if everyone is rich, that means everything is super expensive. So that makes everybody not rich anymore. So does that make sense to you at all? So essentially, if this sign does come into your existence where things start to seem like they're getting more difficult, that means that you have impressed the subconscious mind, and it's leveling you up within the simulation to be able to achieve anything that you want. So all your weak points, maybe you have some weak points that the subconscious mind can see, and it'll start developing you into this, and it'll also start encapsulating exercises within your dream state that's going to be putting you through these things too, to develop your character and build you up in the simulation, leveling you up to that person that you need to be. So change your perception of these things that are happening to you in your world. If difficult things start happening to you, change your perception from negativity to positivity, that these things are actually happening for your benefit. And when they start coming into your world, and if they do, maybe not every single time, depending on what you're manifesting, but if they start coming into your world, start viewing these as a positive thing, that they are building you up, they're developing you, into that person that you want to be, and they're actually just happening for your own benefit. And another big sign of this, that you've leveled your state of consciousness up, is that you're noticing the glitches within the matrix, the glitches within the simulation. If you're noticing these, that means your present moment awareness is getting much better and more refined. And your attention, you're just more present. You're starting to see things kind of like unravel in your world. Like if you fall asleep doing something just to test it out, like even climbing the ladder or counting $100 bills, and all of a sudden you're paying attention and you're aware enough to notice this, that you see a ladder here, you see a ladder there, you see a $100 bill here, you have money coming to your world, you see money over here, this person's counting money over here. You're seeing the glitches, okay? And that means that you have leveled up your character. That means that you're more present, and that means you're ready for the next level. Like the next level is there for you because your mind has now expanded into that version of yourself to where now you're understanding you're living in a simulation. And then your manifestations are going to be much more simple to create, to come into your world. And you have landed it, okay? You're getting there. It is coming. So if you're noticing glitches, that's a very good sign that your state of consciousness has shifted. And if you want to level up and experience manifestations to come into your life very simply, and if you're starting to see different things in your world start to come into fruition, but you really want to take it to the next level, join my coaching community on School. It's titled This World is a Simulation. I'm going to put the link on the screen for you right now. There's also a link in the description. Join now if you want to get to that next level. You want to see more of this. You want to manifest more into your life. I love you all, and I'll see you there and in the next one.